Domain number 5, event and incident response, continuity of operations, or IR. So this one's there are a few objectives in this one. So this is all about cybersecurity events, monitoring cybersecurity events, logging cybersecurity events. What do you do with cybersecurity events? And then how do you deal with continuity, right? Which is critical in our world when it comes to the OT space. So IR 1A through 1E, so there are several objectives here, is all about detecting cybersecurity events. So identify points of contact should an event occur. Who's responsible, or not responsible, who should I phone up if I see problems in an HMI or the historian or a firewall that's giving trouble, or maybe somebody needs to change some rules on the firewall? Do you have a list of who's responsible for each device in your OT environment and how? What's the phone number? What's the email address? Things like that. How do you report cybersecurity events? How are you logging your cybersecurity events? And if you're logging the cybersecurity events, are you monitoring them, or are you just logging them and not worrying about it, right? And then the more fundamental question is, what is a cybersecurity event? And that's pretty fundamental, but surprisingly difficult to define. So once you have a cybersecurity team that has support from senior management and you have a program in place, sit down at a table and everyone should come to an agreement as to what is a cybersecurity event. Okay?
Yeah. And I think, Greg, one of the biggest inhibitors to IT-OT convergence is the ability to provide, deep contextual information, attribution of OT assets and OT events into a centralized SOC. And I think once we solve that problem, we'll be able to better serve the entire OT community.
Completely agree. So, one of the things that's really important about incident response is take the time while things are calm right now or after the webinar to actually start planning out this type of a program. Because if a cybersecurity incident does occur, everyone's hair is going to be on fire. People are going to be walking around or running around, and everyone hopefully will have a documented incident response plan so that calmer heads can prevail and you can just run through whatever the incident happens to be without panicking. Yep. For better.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. So escalations. How do you escalate a cybersecurity event? Now that you know what a cybersecurity event is, everyone's come to an agreement there. Is it a priority 1 event? Is it a priority 2 or a priority 3 or 4? What are those different levels? And what do you do based on which priority it happens to be? Again, monitoring and tracking and logging all the while, so that once things calm down, you can go back and try to improve your process. How could we have done things better? IR 3A through 3C, responding directly. Identify your IR team. Have that team identified. Make sure that they know that they've been assigned to the IR team. Make sure that they know what their responsibility happens to be. Are they out collecting forensic data when an event occurred? Are they interacting with the press? Are they interacting internally to keep the board of directors involved and up to date on what happened, what the current state of the union happens to be, and what the plan is with an estimated time to resolution, and all those good things? If everyone knows ahead of time, again, before the fire alarm goes off, all the better. And then plan for continuity. Identify those devices and those things that are most important to maintain operations, maintain the process. I don't think we really need to tell anyone on this call this information. This isn't rocket science, but job 1 after safety, job 1 is safety, but also maintaining the process. So if you are able to take another device offline because you think that that's a port of entry for some reason, because somebody's done a brute force attack, as long as it's not critical to the operation or the process, then you can do it. If that sucker is critical to the operation of the process, plan other mitigation techniques. Hopefully you've done that ahead of time and your IR plan takes that into account. So create a continuity plan. A continuity plan is similar to an IR plan, but different, and back that plan up because you're going to be looking for it feverishly should something happen.